half hour, the last 26 minutes of Last Man Standing. So we're going to very quickly load up the chat on the computer in front of me so that I can see all of your wonderful comments. And there we go. Let's just make sure that the chat works. There it is. Okay, it does. Perfect. That is all good. And you know what? Let's start off this live stream by gifting 5 free gifted memberships, 5 free paid memberships to the Grand Cat channel. So congratulations to Nick Exile Hell, Andrew Burton, The Steffler, Heather Paisley, and Alison Etty. Or Alison Etty, I don't know. Big the Cat 2001 says, hello Big the Cat, welcome. So congratulations to each of you. And now let's get into Last Man Standing. We're currently at rank 6,230. All we are trying to do here is keep in the top 10,000 so that we get the Dominic Mysterio. And then we'll get into the rest of the video, including showcasing the new portrait pack, which has Dominic Mysterio with 2 titles, being the AAA Mega Championship and the Intercontinental Championship, which is very, very cool. So up until the end of Last Man Standing, we will just be playing this and just trying to get as many few remaining points as we can. Tony Ross says, hello, Grand Cat. Hello, welcome. Daniel Maynard says, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Oh, whoop that trick. What? Whoop that trick. I really don't need the waiting on network thing. We are already on a time crunch here. Thank you, game. Big Boss Man. Not to be mistaken for the Big Boss Man. Very different people. And though very, very similar. Okay, I am going to claim after this one. I'm going to bank those points. I knew it. So what we need to do is we need to get these obstacles down to 4 so that we can continue without any worries of obstacles. So we can get the most number of points that we can. So we just need to hit into another obstacle, preferably sooner rather than later. That's perfect. Let's try the next one as well, just in case. Okay, that is fine. We use the Ruler Obafemi. And Ali Maged, he says something. Not sure what. There's a big long thing. And we're trying to play quickly here, but I will try to read it. It says, hi man, I got some good information for you. The portrait pack card, you swap the image when you put the card on your card binder. Huh? It's okay, I know how portrait packs work, if that's what you're trying to explain. Don't worry, I've had a few of them in the past. And we will be getting that portrait pack. And we will be using it on this Dominic Mysterio. And I see we've got a few members of the Grand Cat Grunt coming in now. Welcome, everyone. Jonathan Snow says, I have to appreciate the content you upload. Help me learn a few things I didn't know when it comes to events. You're very welcome. In fact, I have an entire list of WWE Supercard tutorials. It is an entire playlist, which you can find by clicking on the Grand Cat name and looking through my playlist. You'll find the tutorials one. People have said that this is very, very good for helping people out. Daniel Meyer says 6 obstacles really sucks. 6 obstacles is fine. When it gets into the later ones, like you get to like 11 and 12 obstacles, And then that's when things start getting crazy. Is Volsky says something, and we're going to read that in just a moment. He says he's trying to say that if you put a portrait pack card in the binder, you can then swap that image. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's quite cool. Because portrait pack cards, you can't change the image of them generally, but it seems that if you put them into the binder, then you can. That's very interesting. The interesting thing is you used to be able to change the portrait pack images, and then they took that away. So it must revert. Oh, whoa, 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 what was that cooldown stuff? I hope I didn't spend any credits there. Oh man, that was scary. I've not seen that show up before. It said for a second there, cooldown, you know, like to skip it, like pay like 100 credits or something. Someone let me know if I just spent credits there, because I would be very, very annoyed if that were the case. All right, so I'm currently on 24,744. If someone could rewind and see if I had that amount at the beginning of the video, or if we just lost 100 credits, that would be very nice. Els Volsky says, no, you didn't. It shows up like that for most people. It's because you're playing too fast. Well, we are trying to play fast here. That is certainly what we're going for. We're using Finn Balor and Obafemi here. You may notice that all oh my goodness, all my cards are all either left or right arrows. That is because we're using arrows to swap these. So of course Wade Barrett is normally a down arrow, but we're using a left arrow to allow him to tag with everything. And there we go, that is some major points. I'm just going to do this as quickly as we can. It says new card discovered, but that's a lie. I don't know why it says that. Okay, that's good. That's what we want to see. We want to see those obstacles as quickly as possible. Yes, that is perfect, actually. Okay, now we can do this entire one without any worry of consequences. So now we're going to activate our block, we're going to use the reveal, and we can get through this entire thing without having to claim anything. Let's see what other messages we have here. Claire Quayle says hi. Hello, Claire. Welcome to the live stream. Jonathan Snow says, I wish there was a campaign list to know how to beat certain stages. Well, if you come onto my Discord server, there is a thing that tells you what the next opponent is going to be, and then you can base on that what you need to do in order to win that match. And now it doesn't tell you, you know, what cards to use or anything like that. It's not quite as detailed as that, but it gives you a little bit of a heads up. It's basically someone else has put the work in so that you can get through it yourself in your own way. Jonathan Snow says, I didn't go for Dom because of the arrow. I'm the same. I have far too many left arrows, but we are doing this for the image, for the character card, more than the thing. Now, what some people may not know is that there's only 9 days left of Ember Tier, which is crazy, because we've only been in Ember Tier for 3 weeks. This is the 3rd week. We had the first Alexa Bliss from the 1st week, the second Alexa Bliss from the 2nd week, and now the last man standing, Dominic, in the 3rd week, and yet there is only 9 or perhaps even 8 days left at this point. So we've only got one more Flash event left to go, I believe, which is absolutely crazy. And then we're going to be in WrestleMania Tier. So something that I want to point out to you guys is that Team Ring Domination is going to start the second that Last Man Standing finishes. So if any of you guys are not in a team that you think will get the Ember Team Ring Domination card, then I recommend you jump into my Discord server and you let my guys know that, hey, I want to join your team, and someone from the Grand Cat NXT will get you into the team, and you guys will be able to join the team and you'll get that reward, because we always get the final reward, and there's probably, the way things are going, it's probably going to be a foil Royal Rumble 26 card in this Team Ring Domination as well. So if you want those rewards, come join my team right now before, within the next 15 minutes, so that you can get those wonderful, wonderful rewards. And again, if you want to join my team, literally all you have to do is go into my Discord server, which you can find in the description of this video, and then from there, just say, hi, I'm a fan of the Grand Cat, and I would like to join your team, and someone will get you into the team. The Rose Twin says, hi, Grand Cat. Hello, Rose Twins. Welcome. Now, I'll get around to reading the other messages later. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to do that because we are on time crunch, because there's only 15 minutes of Last Man Standing left. What do you mean the arena is not ready for you yet? Why? What the hell was that? God, Supercard, you guys really, really need to get on your game, because that is pretty unacceptable there. Kevin does YouTube, says, hello, Grand Cat. Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the live stream. If you write short messages like that, I can read them out. If you write a big long message, I do not have the time to read that out. Dang it, we did get that last obstacle. I thought we were going to avoid it. Okay, this is the last one, so let's just go for the two big ones. I see a comment like that I cannot read. Not at this point. That's something that I'll need to read later, when we are not on a time crunch. Oh, god damn it. I do not have the time for this right now. Kevin does says, need Randy title image. Yeah, that would be really cool. I do not know why they haven't done that yet. Rose Twin says, nice rank on Last Man Standing. Thank you. We are trying our absolute hardest here. Just try and get as many points at the end as possible. These are all right arrows. Dang, that's not very good. Leon says, hi. Hello, Leon. And Leon is a member of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet. He is a paid subscriber. Very cool of you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Kevin does YouTube says, I'm ranking around 1600. $1,600 is a lot higher than I am. I am barely around the 6,000 mark. We're now at 5,461 actually. Daniel West is just ahead of you, Grand Cat. Well, we are doing our best. Unfortunately, because all four of those are right arrows, means that the next one, we're going to get 4 left arrows. Dang it. I thought about banking there. I should have. I didn't. Kevin does YouTube says, does Cody turn heel this year? If WWE are intelligent, he will. I really thought that Cody would be the one turning heel and not Randy Orton, but lo and behold, WWE decided to go the other way around. Okay, we can now do the rest of this uninterrupted with obstacles, which is good. Means we can hoover up a whole bunch of points here. There's only 11 minutes and 23 seconds left. So you're going to see big old Grand Cat focusing on the game for the next 10 minutes here. You may talk amongst yourselves in the chat. I may get around to reading your comments later. I may not. It all depends. We shall see. But for the time being, the big old Grand Cat needs to pay attention to the game. Anikodare, I do not know how to pronounce your name. It says, me on 765 rank. That's pretty good. Kevin does YouTube, says, Randy Orton needs to win his 15 times with punt. Yes, the mega punt. Rose Twin says, I hate the obstacles, they ruin it. Well, the obstacles are what the game is for Last Man Standing. It is mild irritants, but if we didn't have the obstacles, then this would, for all intents and purposes, just be... What's the one where you just infinitely play wild? Comment section. Tell me the PvP event where you just infinitely play wild as long as you can, without any cooldowns. PCC, thank you, chat. So if we didn't have obstacles, this would just be PCC. That is a big old Grand Cat. So, a little biology lesson here. The way that sharks work is that when they're swimming around and they need to sleep, they cannot sit still, because if they do sit still, then they would drown. They need to be moving constantly, otherwise their gills fill up with water. So the way that a shark sleeps is it turns off half its brain, so it's still swimming around, but it's not aware of what it's doing. So that's essentially what I'm doing right here. Half my brain is paying attention to you guys, whereas the majority of the brain is playing PCC, is playing Last Man Standing. So I can't even think of things like PCC at the moment. I will the second that I am not taxed with playing Last Man Standing, but at the moment, you have half of Grand Cat's attention at best. Oh, we unlocked an equipment bonus. That's cool. The arena's not ready for you yet. Why? Why is this a thing that's happening? Okay, 9259. W Supercard, you guys need to get on your game, because good lord, that is pretty unacceptable. Kevin does YouTube, says, who do you think Randy is talking to on his phone? Teddy DiBiase Jr. Because he's the other member of Legacy, alongside Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And Teddy DiBiase Jr. has literally just came out of his lawsuit and was found not guilty on all charges. And I think they are going to bring him in for the Randy Orton-Cody Rhodes match. Okay, we've got 7.5 minutes left. We can keep going. We're now up to 5,499. Do you think he'll get a pop? No, I think he'll be booed out of the building. I think that's what's more likely to happen. And I think that's what WWE want. I think WWE want a huge heel to come in so that it makes Cody Rhodes look like a bigger face. And I also think that's how Randy Orton's going to win at WrestleMania, is because of Teddy DiBiase Jr. Stabbing in the back. Because Randy Orton in the promo where he was talking to Michael Cole, said wrestling has more than one royal family, where it makes it look like he's talking about himself with being the son of Cowboy Bob Orton, who was an integral part of WrestleMania 1. In fact, actually, Cowboy Bob Orton was the finish to WrestleMania 1. And that he might be referring to himself as well as Cody Rhodes, who's the son of Dusty Rhodes. But he could also be referring to Ted DiBiase Jr., who's the son of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. We're going to bank those points there. So I think it is going to be Ted DiBiase Jr. that is on the phone to Randy Orton. That is my theory, at least. Because it needs to be someone that we know. It needs to be someone that we recognize. It can't be someone new. And it needs to be someone that Randy Orton trusts. Like someone from Randy Orton's past. So Ted DiBiase Jr. fits the bill on all of those parts. Diane West is talking to William Regal to get Charlie's help. It could be. I don't think it would be quite as... I don't think it would be a WrestleMania level surprise, if I'm honest. Okay, we're down to the last 5 minutes here, folks. The Rose Twin says, your videos are awesome. Thank you, Rose Twins. I very much appreciate that. I appreciate anyone that appreciates Big Ol' Grand Cat. And hopefully you are subscribed. Hopefully I've earned a subscription. And best of all, if you guys didn't know, it's free! Yes! Special offer for today and for the rest of eternity is you can subscribe to the Grand Cat channel entirely for free, where you'll be notified with wonderful, wonderful Grand Cat videos. Almost like magic. Mari says lol. Did you like my pitch? It's entirely free to subscribe to the Grand Cat channel, and I must tell you it is 100% worth the price. It's a discount of the century. Mari says it was great. Well, I'm glad I can... if I can get you guys to laugh, that makes me happy. Kevin Does YouTube says, did you play the daily games already? No, I've not. That is what we're going to be doing after Last Man Standing. So we've got plenty to do. Plenty for you to look forward to. We'll be doing all of our usual daily videos, but on a live stream today. So that'll be something interesting. So you guys get to interact for a change. I saw someone say how long until the rewards come out. It changes every single time. Sometimes it can be as short as half an hour. Sometimes you're still waiting like 2.5 hours later. So unfortunately, it's just whenever they show up. That's when they show up. As Volsky says, I'm really excited for Friday. I'm going to see SmackDown. You're going to see SmackDown live. Wow. That's very, very cool. Very expensive these days. I have been to 2 SmackDowns in my life. Both in the UK, both in Scotland. I have also seen Raw live, and I've been to a single pay-per-view, which was Clash at the Castle. So we've only got 2.5 minutes left. I don't think we are going to be able to do this. Andrew Quilly says hi. Hello, Andrew Quilly. That's good enough. It's just like the bare minimum. Oh my god, why? Okay, let's see here. 6217, got it. Kevin Does YouTube says, Grand Cat, can you give us a hot take? Mine is, well, let me hear yours first and I'll see if I've got something for you. Kevin Does YouTube says, Randy needs to handcuff Cody and kiss Brandy. Well, did Randy Orton not do something similar to Stephanie McMahon? That Triple H was handcuffed to the bottom ropes? Okay, that's good, but we've only got a minute and 16 seconds left. So we just need to try and do this as quickly as possible. Once Last Man Standing is finished, I will try and go over as many comments as I can. But at the moment, we are into the ground. I really do not need Supercard to be stalling at this point. We've only got 44 seconds left. I could see Randy Orton doing something with Cody Rhodes' tour bus. Okay, 10 seconds left. This may be the last one. We might be able to get one more. Given as YouTube says, bank your points before it's too late. Yeah, I think I will bank there. Dagnabbit! I was going to bank there. Win network. Okay, it says that we're currently ranked 4,998. We might be in the top 5,000. I don't know. But that will continue to fluctuate, go up and go down. Now, it says that I have 84,981 points. I wonder how many points I had before that. It said that we had 183,521. So I think it did actually give me the points there, even though I didn't actually click bank points. So I think we did get those points, which is very, very good. Okay, well, Last Man Standing is over. It is finished. And now we are into Team Ring Domination, which gives us an El Grande Americano. That is the Ludwig Kaiser El Grande Americano, as opposed to the original El Grande Americano, which may or may not be Chad Gable. And we've got other stuff to do. We've got a lot of other things to do. But before we get around to doing the other stuff, I did promise. Now I'll read out some of the messages from you guys. So let's see where we were. Okay, so B. Kellen Mike's Music Box says, this tier has been crazy. I have 24 special edition pros already. Yes, I am probably up there with you. It has been a very, very fast tier, almost ridiculously so. Big the Cat 2001 says 94 away from getting the Wade Barrett limited edition. Samuel Mania says War Games on Thursday. Es Volke says it's a Flash War Games into Road to Glory. Let's see what ones we haven't read out yet. Leon says, I've not played Last Man Standing at all. I really, really don't need or want another left arrow. You know, I have so many left arrows. I'm entitled to agree with you there. Okay, I answered that question. Leon says, what happened to Codebreaker? They haven't done one since I returned. They were having problems with Codebreaker. The actual developers of W Supercard ran into a problem, and they, as far as I'm aware, still have not learned how to fix it. So that's why we've not had Codebreaker for a little while. It's literally down to them running into problems with the new updates, and Codebreaker isn't working as correctly as it's supposed to. Kevin does YouTube says I'm in Arena 76. I'm not sure what arena I even got to there. Does it even tell you? Does it tell you what arena I'm on? If it does, I'm not aware of it. B Killing Mike's Music Box says, need Legion of Doom in Supercard. Yeah, that's really weird that we've not had Legion of Doom. We've got Demolition. I think it might be a copyright issue. Because Demolition were entirely WF guys. And the Road Warriors, before they were Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk, went around basically every promotion before coming to WWF, and then when they came into WWF as a House of Fire. And I think that's one of those weird things that the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, and Demolition never had a proper fight, a proper feud, despite the fact that people think that Demolition were put in WWF to be the WWF version of the Road Warriors until Legion of Doom came in. But Demolition were their own guys, and Demolition were awesome. If you go back and watch Demolition's matches and their in-ring work and everything, they're really, really cool. I've got a hilarious story about the about Demolition that Axe and Smash. I can't remember what Royal Rumble it is. You guys in the comment section will need to let me know. But there's one of the Royal Rumbles where Axe comes out first, and then out number 2 is Smash. And hilariously, neither of those guys knew that they were going to be number 1 or 2. They literally called, I think his name's Barry. They said, hey, Barry, you're going out first. And he's like, oh, what? Really? I'm starting? Oh, okay. So they played his music, and he had no idea who was going out second. So he comes down to the ring, and he just sits there and waits for his next opponent. And then they play his music again, and he thinks they've made a mistake. He thinks that they've accidentally played his music twice instead of playing the music for like the next person. And then he sees walking down to the ring, here comes Smash. And he's like, oh, well, what's supposed to happen here? What are we going to do here? And they got in the ring together, and they said, like, what do we do? Do we just sit here, wait for the next person to come out, and just, tag team, just 2-on-1 everyone? And it's like, no, that's not what this is about. Let's put on a show for the guys. Let's put on a show for the boys. Let's just go at it. It's every man for themselves. Let's just, get in the ring here and, like, go at it. And none of it was scripted. None of it was decided. They were just like, Axe, you're going out first. And then when he was on his way to the ring, they were like, Smash, get yourself ready. You're going out next. And he's like, what? Yeah, okay. It's just amazing how uncoordinated early Royal Rumbles were. Like, they knew what the big spots were going to be. They knew who the last few guys in the Royal Rumble were. They knew who was going to win, but they didn't have anything planned for the beginning stages. They didn't have anything planned for who's coming out number 1, for who's coming out number 10, no, anything like that. Whereas now, every single Royal Rumble entrant is all, locked in ahead of time. They're like, okay, you're going to be coming out number 23, you're going to have this spot here, you're going to have this spot here, and you're going to go out before number 27 comes out. Like there's, it's a lot more coordinated. But back then, they just went out there and just did whatever they wanted. And I think that's hilarious when you hear about these stories. The Rose Twin says, I feel your frustration with the game. Yes, I was certainly getting frustrated, wasn't I? Leon says, wait, Ted was found not guilty? Yes, Ted DiBiase Jr. was found not guilty on all 16 charges. not guilty on all 16 of them. He wasn't found guilty of a single one, which is pretty crazy. Which I think he's got one hell of a lawyer, if I'm honest. Because that's pretty crazy result. It's not the result I was expecting, but it's real life, and I don't like talking about real life. I like talking about storylines. I like talking about characters. I don't like talking about what people have done in real life. So when Ted DiBiase Jr. comes back, I'll be treating him. I'll be treating him as the wrestler Ted DiBiase. I'll be treating him as a heel because he will be. He will not be coming back as a face. And we'll be talking about him as his wrestling career, but not his real life career. Like, someone has to be pretty prolific in their real life career for me to comment on it. But yes, Ted DiBiase Jr. was found not guilty, and I think it's likely that he's probably going to be the one that Randy Orton's been talking to. Kevin does YouTube says, what if it's Kevin Owens? That would be amazing. Because, of course, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens do have history together. They were a tag team. I believe they were tag team champions, actually. And they've also got that rival history with one another. And Kevin Owens is very, very similar to Randy Orton, that they go between phases of being face and being heels. And when they're heels, they are very, very heel. Kevin does your YouTube says, Randy and Final Boss. The Final Boss, The Rock. As cool as it would be, I doubt it. But also Kevin Owens has huge history with Cody Rhodes as well. So having Kevin Owens there, I think, would be a very, very cool thing to add in as well. Dynamite says, they have a huge problem with people cheering for heel Randy. Yeah, heel Randy is very quickly becoming 1998 Stone Cold Steve Austin, where people were supposed to hate him because he was a bad guy, and everyone was like, this guy is so cool, he's so against authority and everything, and they were like, all right, they love cheering him, let's just turn him face against Bret Hart then. Kevin does YouTube says, really wish Bray was alive so it could be him. Yes, of course, there is the history of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, where Randy Orton was pseudo part of the Wyatt family. He was tag team champions with Bray Wyatt, of course, and that ended up in a feud where Randy Orton said that he was always against Bray Wyatt. He burned down Bray Wyatt's shed, and they had that match at WrestleMania that was unfortunately not very good, where they put like they used like a video of like maggots in the middle of the ring, and Randy Orton's supposed to look scared, and he's like, oh okay. I really think that it would have been better if Bray Wyatt won that match, but well, I think there was some politics involved with Randy Orton needing to win the world title at WrestleMania. Speculation that because he did the job for Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, where he allowed Brock Lesnar to bust him open hard way, where Brock Lesnar just used his sharp elbows to make Randy Orton's face bleed, that Randy Orton was owed a favor, and that favor was to win the world title at WrestleMania, despite the fact that he really didn't deserve it and the storyline really wasn't going in that direction. Let's see here. Dynamite is talking to Will Regal to get Charlotte's help. I think I mentioned that. Let's see the next question. S40 says it actually wasn't that expensive, about £100 per ticket. Well, $100 per ticket. 100 whatever your currency is per ticket. So yeah, that's pretty good actually. If memory serves me right, I think I spent about £350 to get the entrance side tickets for both SmackDown and Clash at the Castle. So I got to high five quite a few of the wrestlers. I got to meet Big E, which was very, very cool. He's a very, very nice guy. And of course, I got photographs with the stage, the Titantron, and You can actually see Big Ol' Grand Cat on SmackDown and at Clash of the Castle if you know what Big Ol' Grand Cat looks like. I did have a Grand Cat sign in the audience that was promptly taken away, which I was very, very annoyed at within the first like 3 minutes. So during Bailey and Lyra Valkyria's entrance, if you look on the left-hand side at the entrance, Bailey actually looks at the image, big old Grand Cat, big old orange cat with his cape and his crown. You can see it on the SmackDown right before Clash at the Castle, but only for a couple of seconds. Leon says, I went to the Elimination Chamber because I thought it was finally Finn's moment. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the Elimination Chamber despite that, but I think they needed to have CM Punk versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, but I think what they've done is they've established Finn Balor to be a main event superstar, like not just someone that needs to hang around Judgment Day in the mid card. That Finn Balor, and I think that may also be why Finn Balor is now away from Judgment Day, so that Finn Balor after WrestleMania can go in a main event feud, similar to the same position that Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and the such like that are in. Afnan Ahmed, I hope I said your name correctly, says, hey buddy, do you think they will drop a QR code for some then, now, forever together tokens? If they do, I will certainly be among the first to share it. There will certainly be a video letting you know there's a brand new QR code, but I've not heard of anything like that. I think more likely there might be a free gift in the store, and even that, I've not heard anything about that. That's just speculation. But if there is any QR codes, I certainly will be there to give it to you. Big Cat says, I just got one last reveal for Arena 82. Kevin Does YouTube says, I think I got top 2000. Colby Stringer says, rank 102 at the moment. Liz Velocity says, I'm ranked 4,170. Big Cat says, barely played day 1 and finished 1,112. I'm happy. Wrestling Night Out. Oh, I recognise you. Says, hi, Grand Cat. Hello, Wrestling Night Out. Good to see you again. Afnan Ahmed says, okay, buddy, do you think they'll drop redeem code tokens? Well, I mean, we'll see. Kevin Does YouTube. I think that's maybe because I didn't read his comment the first time that he wrote it again. Kevin Does YouTube says, I think CM Punk will be the WrestleMania 42 Battle Pass. I would be very happy with that. Speaking of that WrestleMania 42 Battle Pass, well, I was going to make this an announcement later, but this is exclusively for the people that are watching right now. I am going to be doing a giveaway. Yes, I am going to be giving away 2 Battle Passes for WrestleMania. So in 9 days, when the Battle Pass resets, I will be giving away 2 Battle Passes live on stream. So make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you click that subscription so that you can see if you win, and keep watching the videos to see how you can win, how you can be entered into the draw, and see how you can get yourself a free WrestleMania Battle Pass courtesy of the Grand Cat. Don DeMarco says, top 300 for Wade, top 300 for Campaign Penta, at least 2 pros, 3 fortified for all 4, then, now, forever together cards. Wow, that is pretty good. Don says, we need this new tier ASAP. I really do think they gave us far too many special editions this year. Kevin Knows YouTube says, I wrote message before Last Man Standing ended. Offmore says, can you check Arena on leaderboard? Sure. Oh, it says that I'm now 5,008. Oh my goodness. It updated. Dang it. B. Kellen Mix Music Box says, thanks for the patterns you posted. They helped me a lot in the event. You're very, very welcome. I really hope that you've all enjoyed that. That is part of what I try to do. I try to get all the information out for you guys. Kevin does YouTube says, have you seen the Dominic portrait image? I have. No, we're going to buy it in just a second. Kevin does YouTube says, so is Grand Cat. What's a hot take you have in wrestling? What's a hot take I have in wrestling? I don't know if you can consider this a hot take, but I think wrestling is not about how good of a wrestler you are. I think you need to be able to do promos. I think you need to be entertaining. I think you need to have a charisma with the audience, because there have been some great wrestlers, the likes of, Lance Storm comes to mind immediately. I'm trying to think of other people that are really, really good wrestlers that weren't really over with the fans. There's quite a few of them in AEW at the moment, but I think that it's actually more important to be able to get yourself over a microphone and to get yourself over as being charismatic than it is to be good in the ring. Because Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't have a lot of technical moves, but he was the biggest thing in wrestling in his day. Hulk Hogan, not particularly well known for his agility or his hurricane ranas or top rope maneuvers. He did a body slam, he did a leg drop, and other than that, there's a lot of punches, a lot of headbutts, a lot of kicks, and occasional backdrops. But didn't have a high arsenal of moves. But again, he was so passionate and so adored by the fans at the time. Of course, this is before we found out things. But, he was incredibly over. And on occasion, you get someone that's really, really good in ring, that's a really, really good wrestler. And, they're overlooked because they're not quite as good in microphone. Then you get people like Drew McIntyre is a very, very good wrestler. He's got the look. He is really tall. He's built. He looks like a champion. He can speak. He can run promos, and he can run circles around people in the ring. And yet, he is kind of pushed over to the side in favor of people like Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, which I personally don't think is fair. But I think that it's more important to have a connection with the audience than to be a good wrestler, which is really, really strange. Like Danhausen, people really, really love Danhausen, and Danhausen is yet to have a match in WWE. When you see Danhausen wrestling, I think you're going to like it. I've seen him wrestle a few times. I saw him as a tag team with Hook in AEW as Hookhausen, and I've seen him when he was doing some Ring of Honor stuff. I even saw the match that he had to win in order for him to win a contract for Ring of Honor, which has a fantastic finish where all he has to do is win the match. Doesn't have to be by pinfall or submission or whatever, just so long as he wins the match. And there's a point where the referee's down. Danhausen gets a chair and he rubs the chair against his face so that his face paint gets on the chair. Then he throws the chair at his opponent, and then he lies down, Eddie Guerrero style, pretends he's unconscious. The referee wakes up, sees the chair with the face paint on it, and calls for the bell. Danhausen wins by disqualification and is now a member of Ring of Honor. And I think that's a much, much better debut for Ring of Honor than what he did with AEW, where AEW, Adam Cole was just going under the ring for a table, pulls out Danhausen. Danhausen comes out and goes, "Cursed!" And then that's it. They didn't really have anything for him. And I think AEW really, really dropped the ball with Danhausen. And I think when WWE uses Danhausen properly, AEW is going to see what they missed out on. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing Danhausen's career in WWE. Regardless of whether he's a good wrestler or not, he is one of my current favorites at this time, at this point of watching. So if that's a hot take, then that's my hot take. If it's not, then well, that's about the closest to a hot take I have. Blacklight says, well, I got a 2.2 thousand Dom. First time for me getting such a high card. I managed to reach Arena 71. Congratulations, Blacklight. Spanner says, wait, are you saying that there aren't really drawn randomly out a tumbler these days? Oh my god, my worldview is shattered. That was when I was talking about the Royal Rumble. Yes, unfortunately, I'm sorry to break it to you, but yes, unfortunately, there's not a tumbler. The wrestlers are not. I mean, the wrestling is real, is very physical, but yes, there's a predetermined winner. Don says top 300 for Wade. Oh, you already said that comment before. I think you just want me to read the comment out, and I did it earlier. Blacklight says, "Can you show me your W2K26 CM Punk card?" I will. I will do that later, so long as you remind me. Kevin Does YouTube says, "The Fiend, I believe, was the best gimmick ever until Goldberg squashed him." Yeah, Goldberg had no right winning that match. Also, Goldberg had no right winning the title off of Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens went in with a plan that he knew that Goldberg got winded really quickly. He either has to win the match very quickly or he can't win at all. And Kevin Owens, he runs out the ring. He makes Goldberg wait. He tries to let him cool off and everything, and then Jericho comes out and interferes, and that's how Goldberg wins the belt off of Kevin Owens, which just that was not a very good angle. It didn't make Goldberg look good. It didn't make Jericho look good. It didn't make Kevin Owens look good. And again, Goldberg should not have just destroyed the Fiend the way that he did. I really don't know why they put the belt on the Fiend. It would have been so much better if they kept him away from the title. But I do like that we got the custom championship. So there is that. Dawn says, Dawn says the same question, the same thing again. You don't need to repeat yourself. I will read that eventually. Alec Garner says, "Hi." Hello, Alex Garner. Kevin Does YouTube says, "Who wins a world title first? Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, or LA Knight?" Yeah. Well, I hope it's LA Knight. Yeah. But I would happily take Trick Williams. I really think that if Sami Zayn was going to win the world title, he should have done it about 6 years ago when he was extremely hot when he came off of NXT. He was up and coming. He was on fire. He had the world of momentum behind him. He had his feud with Kevin Owens, and they have just dropped the ball with him so many times that I've stopped caring about Sami Zayn. And I think the best thing they could do with Sami Zayn is turn him heel, because personally, I do not care about him at the moment. Wolverine Watch says, "Finished 596 in the last man standing." My goodness. Hate the left arrow, but I'll take it. Alex Gardner says, "Do you think Finn screws Dom over tonight in his title rematch against Penta?" Ooh, I don't know about that. Well, I suppose what we're doing here is we're setting up for WrestleMania. So what's the WrestleMania match? Is Finn going to be against Dominic Mysterio? Who is Penta going to defend the Intercontinental title against? If the Intercontinental title is being defended at WrestleMania, I'm honestly not sure. I kind of want Finn Balor to do something at WrestleMania. I just don't know if he should be against Dominic Mysterio. Leon says, "A giveaway." Yes, indeed. Alex Garner, big old happy grandcat. John the Snow says, "Oh my god, yes, please, Battle Pass." Big Cat says, "All special editions made Last Man Standing too easy." Haley Strayer says, "Hi." John the Snow says, "Where are you at on campaign mode?" Way lower than I should be, I must say. The banner says, "The Miz is one of my absolute favorite wrestlers of all time. Even though in the ring he was safe, but vanilla in the ring, his out of the ring character work is some of the best in the business." I particularly like the Talking Smack promo they had with Daniel Bryan, now Bryan Danielson. I think if Miz can capture that again, then that's really, really good. I also really liked when Miz was going after Gunther's Intercontinental Championship, where he was trying to remind people that he is a good wrestler, that he's not a joke, despite the fact that he's been treated like one for such a long time. But Miz has unfortunately fallen into this cycle of that people don't really care that much about him, and he's just used his backstage gimmicks and he's mid card for so long. And I really think that Miz could be higher in the show, but the higher ups in WWE just don't want him there. Kevin Does YouTube says The Rock wasn't great in the ring, but he was amazing at promos and a huge crowd favorite. Actually, I think The Rock's actually pretty good in the ring. I think he's got good moves like the Rock Bottom, the Spine Buster, the People's Elbow, all look really good. Sharpshooter, one of the worst sharpshooters in the game. The reason that he does the sharpshooter as his submission finisher is because of Survivor Series Deadly Games, which was a year after the Montreal Screwjob, and to win the Survivor Series the Deadly Games tournament, he locks the sharpshooter in on Mick Foley. Mick Foley doesn't tap out. Vince McMahon rings the bell, and it's the Montreal Screwjob again. But Rock reveals himself to now be part of the corporation and screws over Mick Foley, who Mick Foley thought he was in the corporation, and he was, I guess. But Vince McMahon just didn't like him, and he wanted to make Rock the corporate champion. So that's why Rock did the sharpshooter, and it looks like crap. But again, The Rock is one of those people that has such a gigantic personality that you can either really, really love him or really, really hate him really easily. Kevin Does YouTube says, just confirmed by Zach, Kairi Sane will be the limited edition this week. Okay, so that's the one that's going to be on the board. Interesting. Blacklight says, Goldberg complained about winning the Bray Wyatt match. Yeah, I think it was maybe higher ups. It wasn't Goldberg himself. It was other people that wanted Goldberg to be in that position. So yeah, I can understand that. Stolas. Oh, Stolas says, when do we get the card? I'm sure we'll get it soon. Wonder if that's Stolas in any reference to Hell of a Boss. If so, I recently did an unboxing video of you. Kevin Does YouTube says, who do you want as a battle pass? Who do I want as battle pass? CM Punk's a pretty good one. I would not mind that. We've already had a Drew McIntyre battle pass. Have we had a Cody Rhodes battle pass? Surely we must have. Haven't we? Rather than a battle pass, I'll tell you what I want. I want to see a title image for Cody Rhodes, because we still freaking haven't got one yet. And I would also like a nice title image for Drew McIntyre. I think that would be very, very cool. But, yeah, I want a title image for CM Punk. I want a title image of everyone. Hanny Lass says, can you rate my deck? I can, but because so many people ask me to rate their decks, I now only do it if you leave a super comment, which is one of the ones that you pay a little money, gives you a little super chat, and then you can ask for me to rate your deck, and then I'll do it after that. But unfortunately, if I just rate everyone's deck or look at everyone's deck on camera, we're not going to have any time to do anything else. Kevin Does YouTube says, can you rate my team? Again, exactly the same. Daniel Mayer says, we need Mishausen. I don't know, Kevin Does, you don't need to remove your message. It's all right. You're still allowed to ask. I'm just explaining why I can't. Let's see here. Spanner says, The Rock was an amazing seller in the ring. Did a lot of work for him. Yes, I absolutely agree. Daniel Mayer says, Rock versus Foley, where Rock was handcuffed and Mick destroyed him, was awesome. That was very painful to watch. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the Royal Rumble 1999 World Title match. And Rock went a long time without apologizing to Mick Foley for that. And it was not cool. Those were unprotected steel chair shots and did a lot of real damage to the real person, Mick Foley. I know that it was the character of The Rock hitting Mankind with a steel chair, but it was also Dwayne Johnson taking liberties against the real human Mick Foley and then not apologizing for it afterwards is pretty disgusting behavior from The Rock. But he did apologize later on, and Mick Foley says that he did hold some bad blood against The Rock for that for a little while, but they did eventually talk it over. They did eventually, work it out. But Yeah, that is an absolutely brutal match that you're talking about there. Kevin does YouTube says, no Cody Battle Pass yet. I didn't think we did. Weird. You think they would have? Blacklist says, I would like a Batista Battle Pass. Ah, that would be cool. Now, in fact, actually, I know what the Battle Pass would look like. It would be him doing his firework entrance, with like making out he's holding the big machine gun with the explosions going off in the background. That should 100% be what the Battle Pass image looks like. To have that animated, that'd be very, very cool. Oh, okay, right. It looks like we might have the Dominic Mysterio here. The Epic Gamer Bob says, "Hey, hello, Epic Gamer Bob. Welcome to the live stream." Kevin of YouTube says, "Hopefully we get an event full of title images like SummerSlam Rocks." Yes, that'd be very, very cool. The Epic Gamer Bob says, "How did you find Last Man LMK? LMK? Do you mean LMS? I'm not sure what LMK is, but I think, yeah, that's maybe just a typo for Last Man Standing. Because LMK is like, let me know." Dynamare says, well, actually, I thought Last Man Standing was fine. Dynamare says, next tier might be like last tier, where we've got Vanguard and WrestleMania at the same time. Oh, I sure hope not. I really hope that we just get WrestleMania tier. The last thing WWE Supercard needs to do is have another short tier. We need a big, long tier where we can get to enjoy it, not something that only lasts for like 4 weeks. We don't need any more of that, please. Kevin does YouTube says, oh, okay. The Epic Gamer Bob says LMS. Yes, that's that. It was Last Man Standing that he was referring to. Big the Cat says LMS is in the box. Leon says the Dom is in the box. So very, very cool. But we're going to go over here first. We're going to buy this portrait pack before we do anything else here. And there we go. There is our Dominic Mysterio. Both Dom and Nick Mysterio. Both of them together. And that is the portrait pack. And now, apparently, we have in our mail the Last Man Standing results. This is what we were waiting for. Rank number 5008. There we are. We're going to go ahead and screenshot that one. Let's go ahead and claim our Dominic Mysterio. There he is with our big old Phoenix in the background. I'm going to take the screenshot of it with the Phoenix with his flames on. So we're just waiting for that to happen again. And there we go. That is the thumbnail, probably. I do tend to update the thumbnail after the live stream happens. But now let's go ahead and take a look at our brand new Dominic Mysterio. Oh, yes. And oh, yes. And we'll give him the portrait image. There we are. That's a portrait image, all right. No. See, I was like 100% just going to use this image, but I think this image goes so much harder with both titles. Absolutely. I mean, I like a title image, but I really, really like a double title image. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of these. We just need to do a little bit more. How do we still have prize and ignition cards? There we go. Where's this? We don't need those. Just need a tiny bit more. Sure, we've got something in here that we can get rid of. Okay, we're just going to use one of these. And there we are. I'm going to take that screenshot as well. Now these are level 100. We're just going to wait for the chat to disappear so we can get a nice clean image. And there we are. That is very, very cool. I'm going to take the screenshot with the Phoenix in his fire mode as well. So that is very, very nice. We managed to get our Dominic Mysterio, and we did see that there was some equipment that upgraded while we were playing. This Lady Flamer mask. There's a few equipments we were training up there, so that's what we were doing. And let's see, look at our performance center here. We're working on the CM Punk. Oh yeah, someone asked me to show them the CM Punk WWE 2K26 card. So there is the one that I'm using. It's the image I'm using is the limited edition CM Punk on it rather than the original image. But there is my CM Punk at the moment. You can see that Dominic Mysterio is currently actually weaker than our LA Knight. So I'm hoping that that changes when we get him his 100 matches and his variants, because that would be pretty dire if he's not much better than that. Oof. Um, okay, let's see here. Leon says, not another short tier. No. I'm still traumatized from Vanguard WrestleMania. Dynamite says Triple A Mega Championship. Spanner says, Arg, where is my Dom game? They don't all come out at the same time. They do roll them out, so don't worry if you haven't got yours yet. It will arrive eventually. Dynamite says, no, next tier should be longer and last through WrestleMania. Yes, Dynamite says 2K looks awesome with the pipe bomb image. Yeah, I've done that as well. That was one of the ones that I tried. So there he is with the pipe bomb. It looks very, very nice. There's also the Doctor of Thugonomics. And we can even go for a young CM Punk there. But the one that I particularly like is the limited edition one. I'm going to show you, there's what the original image looks like. And of course, there is the Clash in Paris CM Punk. But I really think this is just such a good image of CM Punk, and that's the image that I am sticking with. The Epic Gamer Bob says, I got rank number 133. That's very, very cool. Bigger Cat says, I have his debut image on it. And Daniel Mayer says, EC Dub, EC Dub. Yes, he was indeed ECW champion, but not ECW champion. He was the WWE ECW champion, which is very, very different. Yeah, that does look quite cool. I can see that, the debut image. It's also the black and white image. That looks a little bit interesting. But no, I do like my limited edition image. The other one that I like is, I quite like this one, where he's got like the angry look to him. But I genuinely think this is CM Punk's best image in the game at the moment. My goodness, I had to sneeze there. I apologise, ladies and gentlemen. There, says, congrats, Bob. Yes, congrats. Ali Miner says, try new Dom image on his SummerSlam 25 card. It's SummerSlam 25 card. Oh, this one. Yeah, okay. That does look pretty good, actually. I'd actually say that looks better than what that one does. It's such a nice, sharp image as well. Like, look, you can see that this one is a little bit pixelated. Like, it's a slightly lower quality image. But this one is a nice, sharp, clean image. And I really do like that, you know, double title image. I really like all of these title images, if I'm honest. Like, that Eddie Guerrero with the title, like, that looks so sharp, so clean. The Rey Mysterio looks a little bit blurry, unfortunately. But this is a really, really nice Dominic Mysterio. I'm sure that his father would be very, very proud of him. Of course, I'm talking about Eddie Guerrero. If kayfabe is to be believed. So yes, very, very cool indeed. Let's go back to trainable. I do need to level up the Stevie Ray as well. In fact, do I need to level up the Stevie Ray? I don't know, because he's down arrow, and I think I might not have enough down arrows. Jonathan Snow says, how can I get season PCC Brock Lesnar holding the title? Season PCC Brock Lesnar holding the title? I think if what you're referring to is uh, the very first Brock Lesnar. Um, Unfortunately, he's not available. There was a reprint of him a while ago, like a long while ago, but there hasn't been one good a long while. I'm just trying to see if I've got a Brock Lesnar anywhere here that I can show you the image. There we are. That'll do. So I think what you're referring to is this championship image with Brock Lesnar with the original world title over his shoulder. That is the image from the very first event that W Supercard did. I was there, I was around for that, but I did not get the title image at the time. At the time, I was not paying money, and I didn't want to. I mean, my deck wasn't good enough, and I could not grind enough to get anywhere near the top percentage. I think it was the top 1,000. Maybe it was the top 5,000, but it certainly wasn't the top 10,000 back then. But I did miss out on that in season one, and it was one of those images that I really wanted for a long time. But they did give us a reprint of it much later on, but there has not been a reprint of that since. Bigger Cat says Dom's masked image looks good on it as well. Yeah, that's actually a good shout. It's very cool that there's the masked Dom image. No Name says, hello, welcome, No Name. Downward says, just me or was there a lack of special edition up arrows? Maybe. Jonathan Snow says season 1. Kevin Does YouTube says, we need more ways to get credits like we used to when we climbed the rarities. Do we get credits for climbing up rarities? Jonathan Snow says, yeah, that one, I want that one. Yeah, that's the one. Big Cat says, oh, if you put Dom mask image on the SummerSlam 25, you can see the IC title on his waist. Really? Offmore says Dom's last man standing card is speed and charisma. Oh, that makes sense. I need to go check that. Let's see here. So if we take this one and we swap the image to this one. Oh, there you can just see just the edge of the Intercontinental title at the waist there. That is pretty cool. That is very interesting. But I'm still going to stick with the new title that the new image that we just got there. And that is the one that is going to be there for a good long while. There's actually another interesting thing here. Since you bring it up, I'm going to look for some Cody Rhodes. And I'm going to show you something cool that you may not know. And now it doesn't work for this one, I don't believe. But we need a Cody Rhodes that you can see the base of them, and I'm trying to remember what image it is. Yes, there is. The static one is actually a title image, but you can just see the top of the belt there, but unfortunately you can't see any other part of it. So you can see that you can just barely make out the Undisputed title around his waist, but unfortunately that is the closest we have to a title image for Cody Rhodes, which is ridiculous. I don't know why we don't have a proper title image. I mean, we do have a title image, and that's it there, because look, there it is. But, I mean, I want an actual proper title image, but I thought I would show that off for anyone that didn't know it, that we secretly do have a title image for Cody Rhodes. It just isn't very good. Dynamite says old ladder rewards. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, the ladder rewards. Yeah, that makes sense. Next star says, I had a theory that if you start last man standing with 30 minutes left, it would be easier to complete and get the last man standing card, and I got rank 32,326, so it didn't work for me. Yeah, when everyone else has had 4 days to play the game and you only give yourself half an hour, I don't imagine it would work out well for you. I don't know why you thought that. No, It's the same difficulty regardless of whether you start at the beginning of day one or if you wait until the end of day four. You like all you're doing is just trying to get further than everyone else is. That's all you're trying to do. Kevin Does YouTube says, yeah, we could complete an achievement of climbing to a rarity to get credits. I think W Supercard tries to limit how many credits people can get for free, purely because they want to try and make as much money off of you guys as possible. Bigger Cat says, I would say besides the title image, the masked image is the best image for Dom. Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. I like his Christmas image as well, where he's wearing the jumper. That's also a nice image for him. But yeah, I think this is one of the better ones. Spanner says, offer more. Oh wow, good spot. Different prop from standard Ember card. It's still the Frog Splash though, interesting. Kevin Does YouTube says, can you give me some of your WrestleMania 42 predictions? I can. Give me a WrestleMania 42 match, and I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. Now I need to see the Dominic Mysterios, see what you guys are talking about here. Right, so this one is speed and charisma. This one is power and speed. Wow, you're right. Both Frog Splash. But this one's speed and charisma as opposed to power and speed. Oh, you're right. Yeah, and look at that. Toughness is his weakest one. Power is the next weakest. And then his two strongest are speed and then charisma is his highest one. Whereas on this one, speed is his highest stat, with power being the second highest. And toughness is still his weakest stat, but charisma is below his power. That's really interesting. Yeah, they did. They swapped it over. That's very cool. Good spot. Very nice. Elfmore says Dom is usually power and speed. Kevin Does YouTube says Randy or Cody, Roman or CM Punk, Rhea or Jade, and Stephanie or Liv. Okay. I guess we'll do these one at a time then. So Elfmore says Spanner. Yep. Right. Just off the cuff, before, I mean, we're not even close to WrestleMania yet. There's a lot that can happen up to there. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I think Randy Orton's going to win due to interference from Ted DiBiase Jr. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. I really want CM Punk to win, but I really think that the reason that this match is happening is so that Roman Reigns can win the other world title that he never got the chance to win. Remember that the world title was only created because Roman Reigns refused to defend the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, the Ubu title. So they had to make another belt on Raw so that that one could actually be defended. Because there was no title feuds that were happening because Roman Reigns liked taking like 6, 7, 8 months of the year off. So I think the reason that this match is happening is so that Roman Reigns can beat CM Punk and win the belt that he hasn't won yet. I think unfortunately that's where we're going. But I would really, really like it if CM Punk won, because at least CM Punk will still be there on Monday, the Monday after WrestleMania. Whereas I think Roman Reigns is probably going to be like, oh, what's the next pay-per-view? Backlash? I'll see you guys at SummerSlam. I think that's more likely what's going to happen. Rhea Ripley or Jade Cargo? Right. Jade Cargo apparently as a shoot, not a work. That means it happens in real life as opposed to being, as part of your scheduled WWE programming. Tweeted that Rhea Ripley went backstage to demand this. I genuinely think that Rhea Ripley is probably one of the top 3 wrestlers in the company right now. Like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley. Like she's well known, she's established. Jade Cargill, unfortunately, is not there. I think the original plans for WrestleMania was going to be Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair just isn't ready to come back to wrestling yet. So Rhea Ripley's now one in her place, and I think Rhea Ripley is taking the belt off of her. I think the whole story is that Jade Cargill is... But I mean, the thing is, Jade Cargill hasn't done anything with the belt. She defended the belt against Michin, and then on last SmackDown, Michin and was it B-Fab came out as hired goons to attack Rhea Ripley, which it tells me that Rhea Ripley is going to win because Rhea Ripley is going to overcome the odds of not only beating Jade Cargill but also beating Michin and also beating B-Fab as well. It very much reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall at the WrestleMania. Was it WrestleMania 35 or 25 even? Sorry, or was it even before that? I can't remember. It was one of the big WrestleManias. It was the WrestleMania where Rock was against Hulk Hogan, and no one believed that Scott Hall had a chance of beating Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think that maybe WWE are like, everyone thinks that Rhea Ripley is going to beat Jade Cargill, so we need to stack the odds against Rhea Ripley by giving Jade Cargill, Michin, and B-Fab in her corner. And I think the whole storyline here is that Rhea Ripley is going to prevail against all the odds and regain the world title. Stephanie Vacour versus Liv Morgan. I really want Stephanie Vacour to win so that she has a chance to do something with the championship because she hasn't done anything with it yet. But I really, really see a position where Raquel Rodriguez causes a distraction, some interference, that Liv Morgan ends up running away with the championship, and Stephanie Vacour's in the ring looking, like furious that the belt has been stolen from her, because that's what Liv Morgan does. She doesn't win championships, she steals them off of people, and then she holds it around and parades it over people's heads, which I think would make the feud continue into Backlash, where maybe Stephanie Vacour would have a rematch against Liv Morgan, or it could even possibly lead to the kind of Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv that they've been teasing happening. The feud of those two, both members of the Judgment Day, going against each other. But I would really, really like it if Stephanie Vacour won. So again, who do I think is going to win versus who do I want to win? Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I think Randy Orton's going to win, and I think he deserves to win. I don't think he's going to hold the belt for very long. I think the purpose of it is so that Randy Orton can retire as a 15, maybe 16-time world champion. Maybe he will tie the record with John Cena at 17. Do I see Randy Orton winning an 18th championship and beating John Cena's reign? I don't think so. I don't think WWE see Randy Orton as being as big a star as John Cena. So I think maybe he's going to win a 15th world championship. He may win a 16th. I doubt he'll win a 17th, and I really don't see him winning an 18th championship. But I think Randy is scheduled to win against Cody Rhodes here. Unless Cody Rhodes turns heel. If Cody Rhodes turns heel and then wins, that would be a huge, huge moment. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. I really hope CM Punk wins, but unfortunately, I think Roman's going to win. And the thing is, if Roman Reigns wins and then stays around, that would be great. If he shows up every week, if he wrestles on each pay-per-view, defends the championship, that's wonderful. But what I don't want is for him to win and then be like, all right, guys, see you guys at SummerSlam, and then just takes the title and goes home, because that's almost certainly what would happen. Rhea Ripley versus Jade. I think Rhea's probably going to win. I think it's unfortunate that Jade Cargill never really got a chance to showcase her stuff, but I think Rhea's like the biggest female name in the company at the moment. So I think that's why I think she's winning. And Stephanie Vacour versus Liv Morgan. Again, I want Stephanie Vacour to win so that she can show off more of what she can do. Liv's held the belt a few times already. We don't really need to see that again. But unfortunately, I think the storyline is going in a direction that Liv is going to steal the belt off of Stephanie Vacour. Spanner says, are we going to get 4 title match changes in those matches? There's a very real possibility. I don't think it's what they should do, but it's certainly probable. Ali Mage says, we need Undertaker title image. It would be amazing. You know what? There's actually a very cool image of Undertaker that I would like to see them use, where I believe he wins the title at WrestleMania 13 against Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, Sid Justice, whatever version that Sid wants to go by at that particular name. It's WrestleMania 13. The world title match was supposed to be Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, but Shawn Michaels was out on injury, quotation marks. He lost his smile, and instead vacated the title, and it was picked up by Psycho Sid, and Undertaker, he was the one that went against him. And when Undertaker wins, he gets on one knee with the title in his hand, and he extends the title upwards, and he puts out his tongue. The lights go down, and it's a really, really cool image that I have in my head when I think of Undertaker with the title. I don't think of Undertaker with the title, like when he's like in Ministry of Darkness, where he's just wearing the belt around his waist and he looks like he doesn't care, looks like he couldn't give two craps. But that version of the Undertaker, that is the version that I would like to see a title image of. Spanner says Jade Cargill looked amazing, like $1 million appearance. Then she opened her mouth. Yes. She did. I know exactly what you're talking about. She has an amazing look. She is learning how to work the ring, but she cannot get the audience behind her to save her life. Yeah, I fully agree with what you're saying. I think that Jade Cargill could have a tremendous career in WWE if she learns how to work the microphone. Dynamite says Jade is doing the Baddies 2.0. Yes, yes, she is. What is it? Top baddie or head baddie or something like that. Yeah. Square says Jade is teaming up with Dollhouse Jade. Yes. Kevin on YouTube says, I agree, but I think Jade should retain and lose to Bianca at SummerSlam. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. Okay, how do I say your name here? Themo Ifk? The Moifk? The Moa FC? You're gonna have to let me know how to say your name. But you said hi, hello. I'm trying to say your name. I do not know what parts I'm supposed to be saying. I don't know where the spaces are supposed to be. Is it supposed to be them OIFC? Is it supposed to be them OIFC? Is it supposed to be Themo? You let me know, and I'll try and say your name correctly. Jacob Crutina says, "Is the Last Man Standing Dom card? Is that the Last Man Standing Dom card that looks like it's going to be a title image as well?" Yes, this is the Dominic Mysterio with the portrait pack that's available in the store right now. That is what I have put on him. You know what? We have been speaking for the better part of an hour now, and I have not even started with ring domination yet. That's not right. I'm sure that we've got at least one shard. I'd be very, very surprised if we hadn't by this point. Okay, so what are we doing here? We'll try and grab that one. Do we go about grabbing that one? I think if we do that, then we are guaranteed to get it. Okay, Big Boss Man. And I know that that's actually Big Boss Man's Big Boss Man because that's the image that he's using on him. So I can tell that one for sure. Okay, this is going pretty well for us. Actually, that one. Just to make sure. And we could potentially get a perfect game here. And we did. There we go. We've got plenty of shards now, you can see. You know what? I'll get back to doing Team Ring Domination a little bit later on. One of the things I do need to do is update my deck here, because we don't use females in Last Man Standing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my female to the weakest card that it needs to be for the time being, and yeah, I think those two limited editions are okay. So X-Pac is up here because he's wearing his equipment at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the equipment off of everyone at the moment. And now let's see where everyone is. So Alexa Bliss is currently our strongest card. Hulk Hogan is our next strongest card. What? Hulk Hogan is stronger than our limited edition Big Boss Man? That can't be right, can it? No, he's got momentum on him. That's why, God. Okay, let's remove the momentum off of everyone, and then let's take a look and see what our deck actually looks like here. Literally just putting momentum on our weakest cards. Okay, so this is what our deck actually looks like. So the two limited editions, the Big Boss Man and Wade Barrett, are our two strongest cards, followed by the double heroic Alexa Bliss. Then we've got our F3 Finn Balor, our F3 Undertaker, then the F2 Hulk Hogan, then we've got the F2 Miss Elizabeth, the F2 Obafemi, the F1 Lita, the F1 Ravishing Rick Rude, the Battle Pass Razor Ramon, then we've got the 1-2-3 Kid, then yeah, just making sure that he had all of his variants in his matches. Then we've got the F3 Stephanie McClure, who is still missing her 5 matches, or 5 variants, so once she gets those, she will be a little bit higher up. Then we've got CM Punk, who is missing his matches currently. Then we've got Raquel Rodriguez as her Boom. Then we've got the Macho Man, who still needs to get his matches and variants. Then under that, we've got the special edition PLE Elimination Chamber Randy Orton. And then we get into the regular cards, and of course Dominic Mysterio, who needs to get his matches and his variants as well. And we're still looking to get the Pro of the Bray Wyatt and the Rey Mysterio. We can make a Pro of the Undertaker, but again, he's left arrow, so I don't think we even need it. And we've currently only got one AJ Styles, and we only have one League's R-Truth. So we have all of that going for us currently. Let's take a quick look and see what our arrows look like. So there you can see we've got so many left arrows. My goodness. We have 4 special editions at the top there. Then we've got the Battle Pass Razor Ramon. We've got the Last Man Standing Dominic Mysterio. We've got another special edition Undertaker that we make a pro of. We've got an F3 with the Finn Balor. We have so many left arrows that we do not need anymore. As for our right arrows, we have Hulk Hogan, we've got the 1-2-3 Kid, we've got the Randy Orton, and soon enough we'll either have the AJ Styles, the Bray Wyatt, the Rey Mysterio, or the R-Truth. As for up arrows, we've got the Big Boss Man, we've got Macho Man Randy Savage, and then I have my Pro Booker T, and unfortunately we're still missing another up arrow, so we've only got 3 up arrows for the time being. As for down arrows, we have Wade Barrett, CM Punk, we've got Batista, we've got LA Knight, we've got Stevie Ray, but we've also got the Pro Stone Cold Steve Austin that we need to make as well. So that Pro Stone Cold Steve Austin will probably be up there with the W2K26 CM Punk. Now let's take a look at our females. So the females, we only need 2 of each arrow, generally for campaign mode. So we already have the Miss Elizabeth and Lita. For our up arrows, we only have Fallon Henley as an F2. We are missing another one, so we need to get another up arrow. For our right arrows, we've got our Pro Bailey and we've got our F3 Stephanie McClure. And then for our left arrows, we have the Alexa Bliss and we have the Boom Raquel Rodriguez. And we don't need any others other than that. So, as you can see, our deck is quite stacked when it comes to Ember Tier. Well, with all of that said, now it's time for us to do our daily video. Yes, this far in, let's see here. We've been recording for an hour and a half, and we are only just now starting doing the daily videos, the daily stuff that we do in each of our daily videos, and we're starting off with the crack the case. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3. There's a 0 and a 3 somewhere. Let's go for 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, there's a 4 somewhere as well. I'm going to make this one a 3, just to see. Let's go for an 8 and a 9 here. And let's guess a 0 for you. Okay, so the 3 is correct. That's not easy. Okay, we know this one on the far right is not a 3, so it's either a 0 or a 4. Let's guess this one's a 0. Let's guess this one's a 4. And we will guess this to be a 3. Perfect. That is called being psychic. That is having precognition. It cannot be taught. You have to be born with it. Leon says, why is the Last Man Standing card so weird? I spent like 3,000 credits just for it to be worse than Wade Barrett. Oh, it's going to be much worse than Wade Barrett. The only way that it would be stronger than a limited edition is if you get in the top 100. Tiny Terra says, I started this game 2 weeks ago. Oh, well, welcome. I hope that you're enjoying yourself. I have a ton of tutorial videos that can help you out for anything you need. Dynamite says, why did you spend any credits? Yeah, Last Man Standing, I try not to spend any credits. I did once, and I won't do it again, and it was to get a special Seth Rollins all the way back in Titan tier, I think. Maybe. Okay, there's no 4, 5, 6, or 7. Oh, okay. Yikes. Let's go for an 8 here. We'll go for a 9 here. And we'll put a 1 in both of these. Okay, there's a 1 involved here. Okay. So we know this one is not 1 or 8. So therefore this one has to also be a 3. And since this one is the 1, this one is the 3, the 8 can only go here. That's how you work that out. And now let us go over to here. And oh, we need to do our bunches of punches. So I would like to move on to the next one. And Chris Rewire says, hi. Hello, Chris Rewire. Leon says, I thought they were insanely strong. Unfortunately not. No, I'm afraid not. Double heroics are much, much better to get than any PvP reward, such as Last Man Standing, Codebreaker, or whatever. Spanner says, sorry, Leon, that's a hard lesson. Leon says, it's sad, really, but I learned my lesson. Chris Wire says, got the Dom card, congratulations. Leon says, my Undertaker has 1.3 million toughness. Isn't that insane? That is pretty insane. That's pretty strong indeed. So, alright, chat. I want one of you to decide what row it is that I'm going for. So this one here is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Are we going for row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8? I want someone to be the first one to decide. Okay, Tony Ross says 3. Next question. We're going for row 3. Is what one? So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. Which one are we going for, chat? Are we going for 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Spanner says 6. 6 isn't an option, Spanner. Has to be between 1 and 5. Raymond says, hello. Hello, Raymond. Leon says 5. Diomir says 42. That's the answer to life and the universe and everything. But Leon says 5. So that's what we're going for here. We're going for number 3, number 5. So Tony Ross chose row number 3. And Leon chose column number 5. Let's see how the chat does. 10 draft picks. Unfortunately, not very good at all. Could have been better, chat. Okay, let's now jump into Blockbuster. I have a lot of fun with Blockbuster. Now sing it with me, folks. You all know how it goes once we get these 4. Meow 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 meow. Did you all sing along at home? I hope you did. Leon says, oh, I'm sorry. It's quite alright, Leon, don't worry. You are completely fine. Raymond says, how is your last man standing? Terrible. No, I'm just kidding. We got 5,008. So we've got our Dominic Mysterio. I really like the portrait pack image. We will train it up and we'll see how it fits in with our other left arrows. So let's see here. We are going to go for the middle here. Let's see what we want to do here. Leon says, can I see your boom team? Sure, I'll be happy to show that in just a second. Dang. Well, that didn't work out very well, did it? Okay. Well, let's try going for this top corner then, shall we? Okay, we found the soul belt. But I think we're just going to claim next there. Spanner says he doesn't play much boom because he always gets the sucky top reward. It's true, I do. You know me so well, Spanner. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at boom right now before we continue. The thing is, with boom, I have completed it. I got the Raquel. I've got a couple of these infinite reward packs as well, but I feel like I don't really need them. Let's see what our 12 win today is. It contains 5 of the following, which means that you could get yourself 4 adventure cards and 1 static card. Yes, that's what you could be looking for here. But here is my deck. And there you can see. I haven't updated it in a little while, so it could probably be stronger than this. But if you're looking to see what it is I do, I try and go negatives for everything. I always have this one be positive, and I also have this one be positive, so that I can get as many points as possible. The ones that I go for all are these 2, so that I can destroy my own cards when I need to, and the other one is this one. So if you have all 3 of them set to all negative, if you have those 2 set to all positive, and you have everything else just minus the enemy, then you're able to do the same tactic that I do. You know what? I'm just going to do a quick game of boom. Apparently I'm not. Oh my god. Okay. Jesus. Forget I said anything then. Let's go ahead and dust some cards, shall we? Oof. Okay, we need to get rid of those. Then we have to use some draft picks. That'll do. And let's play a quick game of boom, and I'll show you how I play boom. Diomir says, everyone should be playing Meow for the tokens and event pass rewards. Leon says, W team, not going to lie, LA Knight carries. Diomir says, unless you've managed to finish the pass. Leon Rook says, Runk says, how much have you spent in Supercard in total? How much have I spent in Supercard in total? Let me just work out here. Let's see here. We carry the 1, and then let's see here. I've been playing for 11 years. £789,457. At least that's what it freaking feels like. Freaking expensive game. Honestly, I have no idea how much I spent on Supercard. And I would not like to know the answer to that either. But yeah, if we just do something like that. Leonrook says, damn! And how many pence not accurate enough? 85 pence. Leonrook says, that's a house. That's more than one house. That's a very big house. So yeah, basically what we do is we try and clear the entire board. And then we use this one to heal 2 cards. So this one's an all, so you need to make sure that we don't accidentally delete any of our own cards here. This one is also an all, so make sure you don't delete your own cards. Use this one to heal 3 cards, and then do that, and you get 138,895 points. And you can do that quite a lot. You can get that pretty consistently. Let's just do another quick one here, since we may be able to get a shard, since we have only 11 on the board. Bossman's going to help us out with this one. We could be in a pretty good position here. Just to make sure. And there we are, another perfect game. There we go, we got our first shard. And we'll come back to that a little bit later on. But let's go over here and we'll do walk the ropes. This is always a little bit of fun. Oh, 1, that's good. If we can keep getting 1s, that's pretty nice. Okay, well that's right before the KO, so it's nice that we stopped there and we didn't just immediately knock ourselves out. Okay, again. So long as we're still playing, that's good. That is less good. I think unfortunately we're going to claim an exit there. So we've only got 20 hours and 37 minutes left, which means I don't think we are getting any more Stone Cold Steve Austin tokens. And I don't think we need to do anything else there. So what we're going to do is we are now going to go into here. Let's use these tokens. Let's see if we can get ourselves a pro AJ Styles. That would be a very nice little thing to have. And we've got a mini game right off the bat. Let's see what we get here. Okay, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's fought both Shawn Michaels and The Rock, but I don't think anyone else that shows up on that bottom reel. He's unfortunately not fought Dominic Mysterio. And he's also not fought John Cena. So that's 150 points. And we are going to spend 50 credits to continue. Fortunately, he's not fought against Bianca Belair either. And that should be 30 points. Okay, well that's 60, which means that we win. Jamie Williams says, hi. Hello, Jamie Williams. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying yourself. We're doing a little bit of Then, Now, Forever. And we're doing the Together part. Trying to get another AJ Styles. Unfortunately, it keeps giving us low points for this one. Okay, we're just over 500 points. We need 523 points, if my math is correct. I must say that I really appreciate all the views that you guys have been giving me, and the fact that you guys all enjoy tuning in to watch me playing through these little things in my little daily videos. I wouldn't be doing all these daily videos if it weren't for you guys, so a big shout out to every single member of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet out there. Thank you all for watching my little videos. It gives me a reason to continue playing and to keep making these videos for you guys. Whenever I make a Supercard video, it always gets a decent number of little views. And it's because of that that I keep doing them. I'll read your comment in a second. The second I've finished this. We're getting pretty good at this. Dagnabbit. Caleb says hi. Hello, Caleb. Craig Etches says, when are you planning on finishing campaign? As Muse said, time is running out. It certainly is. There's only like 9 days left on it, if not even. Maybe it's even like 8 days now at this point. So I do need to get back onto the grind of it. Spanner says, we're getting pretty good at this. Oh, really? Yeah, that was my fault. I shouldn't have freaking said it. Should have kept my big mouth shut. It's typical. It's typical the second that I'm like, oh, you know, I'm actually pretty good at this, is when I'll like just completely fumble and fall on my face. And just be like, yeah, sorry guys. Craig says, I finished it and oh my god, it's tough. We've completed every other campaign mode. I tend to wait until near the end when we've got a lot of special editions or event cards and things to finish it off. Because pretty much once we finish campaign mode, that's us essentially finished with the tier. Because you don't need any more big powerful cards because you really just need them to complete campaign mode. At least that's the way that I feel. Maybe not the way that everyone feels, but it's certainly what I think. Craig says, the worst is the up arrow run, EOS guy, I think. So weak females for that run. Yeah. I have the exact same problem that I've only got one pro Ember female that's up arrow. Okay, that one should be good. Nice, we managed to finish it in one spin. We don't need to spend any credits. That's very, very cool. And now we're going to do the then ones. So probably when I finish this off, we might be finishing up the stream. But for everyone out there that maybe tuned in a little bit late, I will let you in on a little secret that earlier in the stream, I can't remember at what point it was, I told you guys that there was going to be a free giveaway for the brand new WrestleMania Battle Passes, and I will be giving away 2 of them. So if you want to find out how to get those, make sure you're subscribed so that you can see when that happens in the next few coming days. Spanner says true. Craig says, I got 137 for Penta. Yeah, it should be loads easier with these event cards. The Ember Arrow changes that came out, make it easier though. Spanner says, free to play, so not an option for me. I got the very old changers. I have to make do with them. Craig says, the campaign is basically all equipment based. Spanner says, true. Craig says, what stage are you on? What stage am I on? That's a very good question. Let's get a quick look here. We are currently only at 28, but I think we could dominate here with the deck that we have here. Really, this Bailey? No, this Bailey. Maybe I need to get her Royal Rumble wins and you know, just to level her up a little bit. But yeah, I think it's the other Bailey, the Ember Pro one, that we should be going for instead there. Skylar says, hi. Hello, Skylar. Welcome to the stream. My goodness, we got the maximum number of equipment cards. It's always something with this game. That seems like a lot. I guess it's true. Okay, we've got a rare to draft pick here. Scout says, I know all the patterns. Hopefully you picked them up from me, because I have been teaching everyone. Craig says you should be able to get it finished if you grind like crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to grind like crazy. I think so long as I just keep at it for the next little while, we should be on our way to finishing campaign mode with no real problems in sight. And generally I do tend to do a live stream when we go to complete campaign mode as well. Okay, we're going to stop there. So the reason that we're stopping there is we only have 10 cards left, and when we go into team ring domination here, it will retain that we've only got 10 cards left. Scarlet says, yo, can you please send me the battle pass? My name is Ski. I can 100% send you the next battle pass if you manage to win the giveaway that I'll be doing for WrestleMania. But everyone has a fair chance of winning that, and I will be giving away 2 of them, and there will be some information on how to get those a little bit later on. So make sure that you watch my videos to find out how you can win yourself a free WrestleMania Battle Pass. Dang. Oh, cool, we did manage to win it. That's good. And yeah, we should 100% win that, so we should have another perfect game. Skyler says, can you please send me this Battle Pass? I cannot. And also, I cannot send you a Battle Pass either. Craig says, looking forward to this. I enter, but never get lucky. There are other people that have said the same thing that have won. Skyler says, a what? There we are. Douglas Camp says, I appreciate you making these videos. I enjoy listening to them. Thank you. It really does mean a lot to me when someone lets me know they're appreciated. So thank you very much for being a big old subscriber to the big old Grand Cat. And being a true member of the Grand Cat Grand Fleet. Craig says he can't send you a battle pass is what he's trying to say. It is what I'm saying. I am saying I cannot. I can't, shall not, will not, shan't. Spanner says, but can he send him a battle pass? I mean, I guess in theory I can, I just won't. Because then I would have to start giving battle passes to everyone. And then I would be bankrupt, I would have no money. And then with no money, I wouldn't be able to continue making these videos. So I'd make a lot of people happy with getting a battle pass. But then I would disappear. So that is not what is happening. But I will be giving away 2 free battle passes for next tier, which is WrestleMania. Skyler says, but you bought the battle pass? Sure did. Craig says he doesn't have the funds to send you. I do have the funds. How dare you, Craig? I can 100% send him a battle pass. I choose not to. God. I can't go giving a battle pass to everyone that just asks for a battle pass. What kind of insanity is that? So he doesn't have the funds to. My goodness. I genuinely think I've got some of the best comment section on all of YouTube. I do enjoy having fun with you guys. Craig says I knew that response was coming. Yes, you certainly knew how to press big old Grand Cat's buttons. Yes, we're not getting a perfect game this time, unfortunately, because the opponent put cards where I could not attack them. Down where says Danhausen rocks. Down where are you trying to do? Danhausen, Danhausen, Danhausen. Skylar says, I will subscribe if you get me that battle pass. I should hope you're already subscribed. You're trying to bribe me with a subscribe. Ah, goodness. Some of these people. Oof. But I have to respect the tenacity. He knows what he wants. He wants a free battle pass, and he's working to try and get it. Diamond says, rip Grayson Waller. Yes, Grayson Waller is indeed cursed. Craig says, you're cursed, Skylar. He ain't giving you one. You are cursed. Yes, very nice, very evil. Taylor says, I got 45-3 Oba and Danhausen. Very good. Very, very strong. Oh, we've got 4 then tokens? I think it was 4 of them. Give him 18.99, he will send you one. Well, you know what, we've had a lot of fun here. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 5 minutes. We managed to get our... Dominic Mysterio with both of the titles over his shoulders. Does that image look not as good quality as it did earlier? Like, it looked much better earlier, right? Now this one's the sharp image, and this one isn't? Why is there even a not sharp image in the game? Why aren't they all just nice, clean, sharp images? What do I have to do to get Supercard to just give me nice images? Like, why is there, like, pixelated, crappy ones? And yet there's other ones that are, like, nice, sharp, and clean. Like, this Eddie Guerrero looks really, really nice, high quality, nice, sharp, clean. This Rey Mysterio, slightly more blurred. It's like a lower resolution picture. Nice, sharp, clean Dominic Mysterio with the Intercontinental title. Suddenly, somehow, much crappier quality. I'm willing to bet, see if I look at this Stone Cold. Because the Stone Cold with the title has a really bad habit of going into like a really... Oh no, it still looks nice, sharp quality. But that one, like, it will on occasion just turn into a garbage quality image. Spanner says, hard agree at this point there should be no blurry images. They should do a render pass, even on older cards. Yes, I agree. Sarah says, also a 45-3 special Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, and Finn Balor. Very nice. Very cool, Craig. But, well, I think that is going to be it for this little live stream, folks, and I really hope that you've all enjoyed, and if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out, and we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.